everyone, and welcome to the DeHart House. My name is Alicia, and I'm your host of this crafty channel here on YouTube. This episode is all about following the progress of a particular project from the beginning all the way till the end. And this is a spin to knit episode. So I've spun up some yarn from fiber and created a project out of that yarn. And I'm doing this episode a little bit differently because at the time of me spinning, I was pretty ill with, I'm pretty sure it was COVID. At the time, it was over the Christmas holiday break. We had rushed home quickly from a family vacation, and we were home and sick and sort of quarantining from the outside world. And yeah, I just was not up for talking and looking presentable to record. So I did manage to record some video and take some snapshots of the spinning and the project, but there isn't much of me talking while I go through the process because I just wasn't really feeling well. So it's several months later, and I'm editing the video and putting it all together. So this is Alicia of the future, and the video and images I'll be showing you are from the past, and we'll just try out this format and see how it goes. But yeah, I figured I would put this in later since I wasn't feeling well, but I was certainly still crafting to help pass the time. So I started with some beautiful fiber that I had purchased from Wild Wool Farms a couple years ago, a year ago. It's been a bit of time. And it's on their Panda base, which is a Merino nylon bamboo blend. I had purchased 2 braids, and one of those braids I had already spun up and worked up into a pair of socks, and I had the same plans for the second braid. So this is the second braid. It's got gold shades, some purple, some blue, and it's just beautiful. Yellow, like a golden yellow, is my favorite color, and so I was really drawn to this. And what I did is I spun up the fiber in no particular order. Again, giving some context to the time at which I was spinning. I was not feeling well, so I was just like, look, I need something to do with my hands, and I need it to be something really simple. It doesn't require extensive planning. So I just spun this fiber up in the easiest way for me at the time, which was just to work from one end to the other. So I didn't split the braid down the middle in half or do any kind of color management whatsoever. I would just tear off a small piece, and I would just spin that up, and then I'd go back to the braid and tear off a small piece. And so I ended up working it just from end to end across, I think it was 3 or 4 bobbins in the end. And then I plied them together into a 2-ply, but I'm going to share with you some of the video footage of me spinning up the yarn into singles and then plying, and then we'll get into the knitting. So as you saw, I used my electric spinning wheel. I have an EEW Nano 2, which is an electric eel wheel Nano 2, and I love that device. What's great about it is that I can lean back in the reclining chair and still be spinning, and it was very comfortable and relaxed. So I used my electric spinning wheel and I created a 2-ply fingering to lace weight yarn. And there are sections of the yarn where it's yellow on yellow, purple on purple, but a lot of the sections of the yarn included some of the barber pulling of blending the colors together. And again, I did zero managing of color. I just spun the yarn and said, look, it'll be beautiful in its own unique way, and I'm just gonna put in zero planning into what that looks like in the end. So I created this yarn, and I knit up a pair of socks for myself. So let me share some of the footage of me working on knitting the socks. I'm sorry, I don't have much footage of me knitting socks. It's Socks are a project that I can easily take with me in the car or while walking on the treadmill. And while I had full on intentions of doing all kinds of filming of those different events of me knitting on socks, it did not happen. So that's fine. Watching me knit socks is not that exciting. So I'm going to put photographs up here of the finished socks. I actually have that pair of socks in the wash right now. Yep. So, but I took some great photographs and I'll share them up here on the screen while I talk about them. So in the end, I estimate that I used right around 288 yards of my handspun yarn to create this pair of socks for myself. I have a lot of yarn left over and I believe I have enough to make a whole nother pair of socks of the same size, which is what I would like to do. But my full intent was to spin and knit a pair of socks, which is the whole point of this video. I like how the colors ended up turning out. I think it reminds me of watercolor painting, where the colors just blend together in this, not a haphazard way, but in their own way, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. I'm glad that I didn't put much effort into managing the colors at all, except maybe to say I want to wind this bobbin with that ply, this bobbin with that bobbin, but other than that, I really didn't do anything to manage the color. So I'm very happy with how they turned out. It's hard to tell when the yarn is wrapped up in a ball how it's going to turn out in the sock. But yeah, I'm delighted. They fit very well. And I mention that because with some of the socks I've knit lately, I've been making them a little bit too small, and I can't actually put them on because I can't get them over my heel. And if we add in the factor of using hand spun yarn as opposed to commercial yarn, it adds just a little bit more variability. And so I did not run into that issue with this pair of socks, and that makes me very, very happy. Like I said, they're in the wash right now, so I did wear them and they were very comfortable. So yeah, I love the socks, how they turned out color-wise, fit-wise, and also how the yarn has held up in the other pair of socks I created out of the same base of yarn but different color, right? So would I purchase more of this fiber? Absolutely. And I definitely have, but from a different maker. So I'm going to try out some different dyeing styles, but created with the same sort of blend of fibers. So in the end, this was a project that didn't have meticulous planning go into it. It was sort of a spontaneous project because I didn't anticipate on getting sick. I didn't anticipate on being home at that time. And so it's not one that I have a lot of details to talk about and share, but I think it's fun to sometimes share a spontaneous project and to just highlight the fact that I am a person who will also craft on what she feels like crafting on, and it may or may not be the thing that I intend to get done at this moment, but I just felt like it. So I rode that creative wave, and I'm really glad that I did. I'm glad that I let the colors speak for themselves and do what they were going to do, and I think it created a beautiful result. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will indulge yourself in some spontaneous crafting when the mood strikes and you have inspiration and motivation, and don't feel like you have to always put on a show and meticulously plan things. So I'm not usually a spontaneous person, so for me this was a little bit uncharacteristic, but I'm really glad that I did it. So until I see you next time, I hope that you stay safe, stay healthy, and you enjoy your crafts, whatever they may be. Bye.